I understand that we're trying to do a movie here, but as of a few seconds ago, I will no longer put up with your bullshit. I hope we got an understanding.
Just like that.
Pat him on the back and walk away. I understand that people talk, and this is a small community. Under no circumstances will I ever be disrespected by anybody. I don't give a who you are. And that's that.
Big facts.
And that's that. And first of all, I'm a married man. My wife is an actress also. I mean, I don't care if I am put into a situation where I'm the love interest of Halle Berry and she's on top of me butt naked. I'm running past my wife.
What up? I'm YoungBLAZE. I'm a rapper, producer, and director, photographer, just all the way around creator. So what about you? You an actor, filmmaker, musician, someone who's creating or part of something amazing? Well, come meet people like you, where we take Chicago, Hollywood, and we meet up in the middle, and we get successful. So if somebody tell you you switched up, acting different, acting brand new, nah. Just tell them I'm just acting ChicallyWOOD.
All right. What's going on with you, brother?
I am hanging out like wet clothes.
It'd be like that.
Like in the wind.
So tell us, who are you?
Well, my name is Christopher A. Greer. I am a screenwriter, actor, producer, director, also a musician, songwriter, a student, father,
Nice.
part-time ninja.
Part-time ninja.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I ain't mad at that. You gotta be like that in Chicago, you know, or in this, as we say, ChicallyWOOD.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. To be specific, what made you say, I want to get into the arts, entertainment?
Oh, wow. We would have to actually go back to elementary school and high school. I was one of those little boys that was always in the play. And that started off somewhere around like third grade or so. And then once I got to high school, well, actually, when I became 7 years old, I started playing guitar.
Wow.
And by 13, I went away to high school. And then I picked up about 7 more instruments. So I play like total of like 9 instruments.
You like Prince.
Yeah. You know what? They said that Prince played 26 instruments. I don't know what those instruments are. No one ever said what they were.
That's a lot of instruments.
That is a lot. I mean like, that, does he put like a harmonica, jaw harper, like, bang, 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 bang? I don't know, because I play that too. So we were on 12. But
Gotcha.
But other than that, I learned how to compose and arrange when I was in high school at CVS. Chicago Vocational High School and I was a music major.
Okay, shout out to CVS. Okay.
Yeah, shout out to CVS. And so after high school, I went on to college on music scholarship to Bethune-Cookman University in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Gotcha.
Did a stint there, got to my junior year, dropped out.
Okay.
Life happened. Came back to Chicago, started a band called The Powers That Be. We were a stepping band. Yeah. And I got bit by the acting bug. I saw that Chicago was starting to make a lot of films and television shows. They had Turks and Stir of Echoes, Barbershop 2, and in which, since I was interested in it, I just went ahead and jumped on it. So I was an extra in actually those 3 films. Also, when I was 16, I did a ABC miniseries called Lady Blue, and also did a movie called My Bodyguard. Not to be confused with The Bodyguard, which starred Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner. That wasn't the one. Classic. It was Martin Mull, Ruth Gordon, and Adam Baldwin.
Okay.
Yeah. So after that, I started off as an extra in some of the Chicago films and television shows. Yeah. And I saw that that's the route that I really wanted to go.
Beautiful.
And, yeah.
So it's almost like you got inspired by being around a lot of greatness, as well as going to, you said you started off as an extra.
Yes.
How important it is, I guess, it's kind of like almost, from what I'm understanding in this business, it's like your rite of passage. You get into this business, you start off as an extra.
Yeah.
You know, so how important is that? Or do some people feel like, oh, no, I can just skip the line?
No. You can't skip the line.
Yeah.
It is a rite of passage. I found that as an extra, I was in a very, very valuable and important position where I can be behind the scenes and I can see what's going on. Because becoming an extra actually has shown me what it takes in my career now of being a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And which I didn't know that I wanted to be.
Yeah.
I was like, I could just act and that's it. I want to be Denzel. Everybody want to be Denzel, but there's only one Denzel.
Of course.
So the thing is that that was like a rite of passage. It showed that you had to start at the bottom in order to work your way up to the top. And I'm not to the top yet.
Yeah.
So along with that is that I went back to school.
Yeah.
I'm at Governor State University. I'm a senior. I'll be graduating in May.
Nice.
With a degree in performing arts, performing and theater and performing arts.
Okay.
There we go. So I have my bachelor's degree in that, and I will most likely 99% sure that I will be going back in September to get my master's.
Gotcha.
Which is a terminal degree, which is equal to being a doctor of fine arts.
So this is the question then. So from what it sounds like, you have you're a little seasoned. You have some weight under your belt. But what made you say, you know what, let me get some schooling. Let me go back to school. And because a lot of actors feel like, I could just kind of do a lot of, here and there, some rehearsals or whatever. Why did you want to do that?
Well, I looked, and I'm not trying to put anybody down, but I was looking at kind of like my contemporaries. And I saw what my contemporaries were doing. And I saw to the level of where my contemporaries got to. Yeah. Now, and like I said, I'm not trying to put anybody down.
Right.
There's a difference between a actor and a superstar. If you want to be just an actor, fine. If that's the level that you want to get to. If you want to be a superstar, then you have to put that extra work in. So I sat back and a wise person told me, I think it was Cassandra Bell. Shout out to Cassandra Bell.
Shout out to Cassandra Bell.
She said something one time. She said, if you want to be rich, do TV. If you want to be famous, do movies. But if you want to be good, do theater. So therefore, I wanted to be good. I wanted to be at the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
I don't want to be at the top is room for all. It's just the bottom that's crowded, y'all.
It is.
Shout out to McFadden and Whitehead. Hold on to your dreams.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's where the level of where you want it to be on a personal level.
Yeah.
Some people just want to be a regional star.
Yeah.
Some people just want to be able to do a movie and sit back in the basement with their friends and their family and watch them say, "Ooh, look, I'm on TV." Maybe that's where you want to be.
Right. To each his own.
Yeah. So my destination and my idea of what I wanted to do is I wanted to be at the top. Yeah. I want somebody to think about acting and think about Chris Greer. I want people to think about filmmaking, directing, and think about me. Yeah. I want to, when I leave here, that my legacy and my work product gets left here. And people talk about it for years and years, like all the rest of the greats,
That's beautiful. So help me understand and to kind of make these correlations. So theater, and it's like almost, it reminds me of sort of like how you see a lot of people on social media doing like the skits and plays and stuff like that. Those go viral. Some of those comedians go viral. But the real thing, what it really boils down to, when they get on stage and they have to perform, that's where it's at. You know, it's sort of like, you know, I see the parallels of how that could be the same situation for us. Like, because even Denzel does theater. He does theater. I mean, he's like, you know, he's considered one of the greats. So the fact that he's like, yo, let me get on stage and showcase that. So I would say that theater is extremely important. Why is it important?
It is important because I call it being butt naked.
Okay.
You are in front of hundreds of people.
Yeah.
You got one time to get it right. Even though you might have additional shows.
Yeah.
But you got one time to get it right. You got to be so sharp.
Yeah.
You got to know your stuff so tight that when you're standing in front of hundreds of people, you do it correct.
It's a lot of pressure.
Every time. Every time.
Yeah.
That's what makes you good.
Yeah.
That's the difference between your Samuel L. Jacksons and your Denzel Washington, your Laurence Olivier's. That's the difference between them. Now, if you just want to be just like Joe Blow actor, do that. Go up there, learn your lines.
Yeah.
Make your mistakes, all the rest of the other stuff. But go up there and every show and do it flawless.
Yeah.
Theater puts you in that position to do it flawlessly.
Nice.
And so I wanted to be that good. So I went back to school and took up theater and performing arts. Beautiful. And I have learned tons of things. You know, there are different acting methods. You know, you got your Stanislavski method, you got your Meisner method, you got your Una Hagen method. There are so many different types of acting out there.
Wow.
And I wanted to learn those.
Yeah.
So I can be one of the greats.
It's sort of like as a rapper, like for me to really test my skill set, and anybody that's a rapper knows, getting in battles and ciphers, that was the thing, you know, to really test how good you can be an MC. That's what I used to do, just go hard. I mean, I still do it from time to time, you know, I catch me in certain ciphers here and there, but freestyling, to be able to, that was one of the key things I could do extremely well, is freestyle right off the top of the dome, to be able to entertain, you know, and that would basically challenge me to be in a situation to say, okay, I can put myself in any scenario, any situation in front of a large group of people, and I got an opponent. So I got to be smart enough to be able to assess the situation, to be able to say, hey, how can I basically entertain and tear you down and still, you know.
And make sense.
Yeah.
You can make sense. Make sense. You know, there are very few that can actually do that. I think that Lil Wayne could do it. I think Black Thought is Black Thought is like,
yeah.
You know, even though you the bizom, you the bomb.com /org.
Appreciate it.
But other than that, that is why this past semester I took a course in improvisation.
Yeah.
So like when you have like Wayne Brady and Styles, I forgot what his first name was, whose line is it anyway? When they would say, okay, here's your prompt. You are going through the line, going through TSA at the airport. Go.
Wow.
Make it interesting. Make it funny.
Yeah.
That's what we had to do.
And what is that called? That's called
improvisation.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that means that, let's say that I'm doing a play. My scene partner forgets their lines. I know their lines because you got to know their lines. You know their lines, you know your own lines.
Yeah.
So you know where they're at all times. So if they drop a line, you got to be able to pick that up.
Yeah.
Now, let's say that your scene partner drops a line and they get lost. It's like, did you say something about going to the store?
Oh, gotcha.
So you're feeding them.
Yeah.
You have to know when to feed them.
So it's teamwork.
And so they're like, I was going to the store, and I made a right up here by the Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah.
And then they're back on track. You back on track.
Yeah.
The audience knows nothing about it. That's a real pro.
Beautiful. That's beautiful, man. So let me ask you this. Coming from Chicago, how do you see this industry? How has it inspired you, influenced you, like getting work here?
Okay. Well, getting here, we have a boatload of, I would say, independent filmmakers. Some of them are making their mark on the industry.
Yeah.
They are growing, I would say, the Chicago film industry exponentially.
Yeah.
I feel that Chicago can be put in the conversation along with LA and New York and Atlanta.
Yeah.
The only thing that Chicago is actually missing is more collaboration.
I agree.
Not saying that no one doesn't. It's we need more collaboration.
Yes.
And if we had more collaboration, we can have those big studios that they have in Atlanta, those big studios they have in California.
Yeah.
You know, New York. We can actually go ahead and put out the quality films that the very creative people in Chicago can put out.
Yeah.
Because we know a lot, and we have some very, very creative filmmakers here, very, very creative actors, hella actors.
Yeah.
And so I think that if we come together and combine our resources, then we can be just as large as any other one.
And that's the reason why I wanted to start and create this platform, ChicallyWOOD, because I see, and this is just not with actors, I see a lot of people, they have this notion of, okay, I'm going to do everything I need to do here, set up, and then I leave. I'm going to go out to Hollywood. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But the one thing I always said, man, but why is that? Why do we have this mindset to say, I'm out? And I get it because the resources, there's a lot of different resources out in, LA. And then we saw everything, in New York. And then now we're seeing Atlanta, like you said. So I take this whole hybrid approach of Chicago and Hollywood, LA, and merge them together and say, hey, let me showcase to you guys exactly what I've come across working with so many amazing actors, whether it's a rapper, whether it's a director, things of that nature. Because even when I first met you, I was like, man, I got to work with this guy. I got to put him in something because I love the way how your approach was. And I just looked at it like, man, this dude ain't already famous. Like, he like, I need to put him in something. So, and at the time, I wasn't even doing movies. I was just doing music videos.
Right.
But I knew once I made that transition to doing that, I don't even say transition. It's just one of them things I want to add as far as a skill set. I said, you know what? I'm going to reach back for this brother, and then we worked on a smaller project, which was we worked on community outreach.
Yes.
And shout out to DeJuan Austin Jr. That was a dope situation. Sharice
dope.
Eaglin.
Yeah.
That was a dope situation because that was me.
David Walker.
Yeah, and David Walker. And that was me testing myself to see, like, how can I film? Oh, and shout out to Mimi Rivers. She was on that too.
Oh, Mimi,
yes.
yeah.
That was a project that I said I need to see how I can challenge myself to work with multiple actors at one time. You know what I'm saying? So I first saw quality in you guys. That's what made me say I want to work with you because I see the quality. So as an actor, how do you determine quality working with a director? How do you feel like I need to get into a film? Do you gauge it off of, okay, I look at this director's track record, it's okay. Like, how do you gauge that?
Well, first of all, what I do is, because I get it a lot. Directors will come up to me, producers, they say, hey man, I want to work with you, blah, 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 blah. And I just say, okay. Once that director, producer comes to me with an idea, then I gauge the idea. Because, sometimes they might not have a track record and still be brilliant.
Yeah.
Like yourself.
You
didn't have a track record.
Is it true?
But I knew the talent that I saw, and you came to us with a hell of a script, and I was like, yeah, I want to do this. Yeah. And I think we got like how many hits we get off?
I think when we put that out, it got like close to like 60,000 in like a couple of days or something like that. Yeah, we put it out on Facebook. It was amazing.
Yeah. And so, looking at that, then the track record went on because that was the second film, wasn't it? The first one had Darius and Mimi in it.
Yeah, so that was like me really just like, okay,
testing the waters.
How do I work this?
Right.
Like, how does blocking work? You know what I'm saying? I needed to learn the dynamics of film. I needed to understand all the vocabulary that comes with that. So that was a really that was a good project because Mimi Rivers came in and she also directed, and that was also me showcasing to show teamwork because even though I had wrote that particular script, I wanted Mimi Rivers to come in and direct because I wanted to focus on capturing. Right. And then also I would come to her and say, hey, I want him to change this, that, and the third. So she was basically be the other set of eyes I needed. Right. So that was a really, really good, amazing experiment to be in to say, hey, it was almost like an exhibition sport. Like I was just like, okay, let me get my bearings in. So it was pretty dope, man. So let me ask you this, like, so do you think that most actors starting off, so they should just say, hey, I just need to get in anything? How should they gauge getting into a project, especially when they're new at this?
It depends on their drive.
Yeah.
It depends on where they want to be. Like I said, if you want to be the one that just watches your movie in the basement and just say, "Ooh, look at me," then that's how far you take it.
Right.
But the main thing is to have a goal of where you want to be.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the main because that's your drive. Now, sometimes it's best to get training. Most of the time, it's best to get training because I started off with no training. I hit the ground running, and then I saw where I wanted to be, which is your drive and where you want to go from there. But best thing that you can do is to get in somebody's class and learn as much as you can about the craft.
Yeah.
And then from there, you reach out to whoever might be, cast calls.
Yeah.
If they're cattle calls, if they're looking for someone specific, then just raise your hand and do that. Because we had the Illinois Film Office back in the day. Where you would call and every week they would have different castings, and that's how I actually got started. I was doing all kinds of stuff. The Lake House with Keanu Reeves and Morgan Freeman. I did Sudden Impact with Keanu Reeves, and I did so many. And the wild thing about it is, especially when you are in that position, where you can watch the pros do their thing. Like Forrest Whitaker, I learned so much from Forrest Whitaker when I was doing Empire. And just being in a room where it happens, you can pick up on certain things. I'm up here watching Forrest Whitaker like, okay, he's got his sides. And he's just studying, and it could be downtime. They're setting up for another shot. He's looking at his sides. Now, the man already knows what it is, but he's like, okay, maybe I could deliver this different. Maybe I could do this. Maybe I could do that. So I'm just checking them out. And so I actually had a chance to walk up to him and tell him thank you. I was like, thank you for allowing me to go to the school of Forrest Whitaker.
Nice. It's humble.
It is. And he was like, oh, you welcome? Because he was like, I said, thank you. He said, for what? I was like, allowing me to go to your school. I learned a lot by being on the set of Empire. Yeah. And during that time, I think I did 18 episodes of Empire as a extra.
Okay.
And so that was, wow. It was very interesting. And then that's when I really found out that I really enjoy the filmmaking part of the industry.
The technical part, as in like the filming, the
Yeah, because I was during that time I was working closer with the PAs, and they knew me, and so I would actually just ask questions, and then once I got into school, I started taking classes that were like filmmaking and independent film making, screenwriting, and things like that. And so I was like, wow. So within a couple of months, well, I would say maybe about 4 or 5 months, I made like 3 movies. And so I was like, I kind of like this. So I'm writing, I'm producing, I'm directing these movies, and also acting in them. So it's not like I really took a turn. It's just I made a little pivot.
Yeah.
Made a little pivot. I'm still in the same house.
Yeah.
But I'm in another room.
Gotcha. So it's a journey, basically.
It is.
So let me ask you this. So what was the first movie that you can recall you've ever been in?
The first movie that I was in was My Bodyguard. I was 16 years old.
Okay.
So we're talking about 54 years ago.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's been a journey. It's been a journey. It was very interesting because I worked with what's the guy's name? Matt Dillon. I worked with Matt Dillon. I worked with Adam Baldwin, not to be confused with the other Baldwin brothers, the one that was in Armageddon.
Okay.
And I also worked with Chris Makepeace, which he made a couple of movies after that, just disappeared off the face of the earth. But it was very, very interesting. I saw Bowser of Sha-Na-Na. Come on now. I know everybody's like, who the hell is Sha-Na-Na?
Yeah.
But it really turned the brother on.
Okay.
Back when I was 16 years old. But that was the first film that I ever done.
Gotcha. Now compare and contrast to now. How have you grown?
Oh wow. Well, I've grown a lot because I know a little bit. I know more about the industry itself and what makes it tick, and what it actually takes for you to get from point A to point D now.
To D.
Now, yeah. So I'm somewhere around D.
So that means that you can give even more advice, because my next question is, what are some of the pitfalls that some of these actors need to watch for? What are some things that they need to, look when they're new, starting out? What's some advice you can give your younger self, if you could?
Okay. One of the pitfalls, especially for, I would say males as well as females, but especially females, have morals about what you want to do. It is okay to say no. And I don't take every role that's been given to me because I have the choice of saying no. Do not lower yourself in any type of manner in order to be a star. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because for one thing, once you get caught up in it, you can't stop. You can't stop, because what's it going to say is remember that time you did, remember?
That suspect role that you had.
Because and stop sleeping with all these directors, man. Don't sleep with no directors.
Yeah.
Unless you really want to sleep with them. Not for no part.
Yeah. The one thing I've learned in this business is never whore out your talent.
No.
Because I've been in so many situations where I could took advantage of things, but because I've been blessed genuinely to be able to move and operate the way I can. Right. And that comes with a certain amount of discipline, and I don't want to be ever in a situation where I depreciated the value of my talent, because God's blessed me tremendously. So with that being said, let me ask you this. Since you've done film, you've also done commercials.
Yes.
How do they compare and contrast?
Well, commercials, I put that up there with film and television, because you get to do it over and over and over and over again. Unlike theater, one time. But what contrasts is just a different type of cat.
Yeah.
Meaning is a Siamese cat, black cat, house cat, domestic cat.
Yeah.
Still a cat.
It's pretty chill considering, I mean, in my opinion, it seems like it's a lot more chill. You know, it's not too much concerning, like when you're doing a movie, it's like it could be a lot more of a hands-on approach, correct? Versus doing a commercial is like maybe, what is that, 1 or 2 days depending?
I think I did a commercial for 2 days.
Okay.
It was a Madison. It was a Ho-Chunk Casino Madison. And I did a commercial for 2 different days, but it was 4 different scripts.
Okay.
And so it was kind of tedious because in 2 of the commercials, I was like one of the main characters. And I said, yeah, but when you are playing craps and you're doing this one, and I had to know all of this oh man, it drives me crazy.
You know how many people called me because they said they saw a commercial that you were in. I think it was a commercial about like getting like vaccinated or something like that. I think it was. Yeah. And people would call. They're like, "Is this the guy that you worked with? Is this Chris Greer?" And I was just like, "Yeah, that is him." So it's so dope to see people, you know, like you, to basically get their flowers when you put in all this work, you put all this effort, and you've trained your talent in a way where people are starting to recognize it. You know, I thought that was super dope. That people would call me and be like, "Is this the guy that was in one of your films?" I said, "Yes, it was." That's definitely what's up. How do you how do you basically move in this industry? Far as, you know, I know it can be very aggressive and it can be very time consuming, but how do you keep your peace?
How do I keep my peace? I got a story. I hope that I can tell it quickly. Back when I think it was the election between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, I did a small little film called Otis's Dream. Otis's Dream was released. It was a film that was about voting rights for Black people. That film was released on a Thursday, the Thursday right before the election, because it was sent out to like 500 different churches in order to motivate people to vote. Yeah. And that movie was actually instrumental in turning Georgia Democratic, in which Warnock got in, and a lot of other things. It was very pivotal. Pivotal. I'm making words up. Pivotal when it came to that election. So that was Thursday. One of my boys called me up from Daytona Beach. I went to college with. Okay. He said, "Chris, man, you on TV, man." I'm like, okay. You know, I've done like over 80 projects. Yeah. Whether it's film, commercials, TV. Yeah. Which one are you talking about? What are you talking about? Yeah. He said, "Man, you on MSNBC with Joy Reid." And I was like, "What?" So I turned it on, and there it is. Joy Reid was talking about Otis's Dream. This is that Thursday. Wow. Friday, I got another call from somebody else, out of the state, of course. They said, "Chris, man, you on CNN, man." I was like, "What?" So I turned to CNN. It was over. So I was like, I guess I got to take your word for it, because I didn't see it. That Sunday, Reverend Dr. Otis Moss, the great grandson of Otis Moss Sr., who is the pastor of Trinity Church on 95th Street in Chicago. Yeah. He was being interviewed by Oprah Winfrey concerning the film. And so Oprah was explaining, this is the reason why I vote. This man walked 18 miles, got turned away 3 times in order to vote. And that is the reason why I vote. And so she's told this story like at least 3 times. Now, this particular time she was telling this story, it was, I think it was from when they were doing a Rock the Vote thing. And she told that story again. And this time on Super Soul Sunday, she showed a clip and she said, they made a movie. You know how Oprah talks. They made a wonderful movie called Otis's Dream. And I looked at the screen and it was me on the screen. Oprah was talking about me. I was like, wow. Oprah know who I am.
That's dope.
That is super dope.
Yeah.
So that was that Sunday. Now that Monday, I did something that was called divorce court. This particular divorce court, shout out to Kay Dixon. This divorce court, this was during the pandemic. And so divorce court was not getting the influx of people to be on the show.
Yeah.
So they started reaching out to people. And so we kind of like came up with a story.
Okay.
On divorce court. And it ended up being so good that it was the first and only 2-part divorce court in history. It was nominated for a Daytime Emmy Award.
Yeah.
And it went on for 2 days, that Monday and that Tuesday. It was during Sweeps Week, which is when the networks put out their best stuff.
Yeah.
Now, here's the caveat. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, over 800 million people had seen this face. Mm-hmm. And I had $26 in my pocket. Mm. That's how I keep... That's how I keep humble. That's what keeps me like... keeps this head intact.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's a beautiful story because you know
it's a long one.
But it's yours and it's true. It's your truths. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't take that away from you because I know your story is more inspiring in a sense of having people, because there's so many people that's trying to approach this business. And, you know, it's a facade of some people feel like, oh, I just saw you in a commercial. I just saw you on TV. So I know you got $1 million. Loan me $200.
Right. Don't compare your career and your life to my highlight reel.
That's a good saying.
I had a lot of lean days. You have to remember this. I am a SAG actor with the Screen Actors Guild. We were on strike for 17 weeks. That means there was no Chicago Med going on. I couldn't do that. Couldn't do Chicago PD. Couldn't do Chicago Fire. Mm-hmm. Everything in Chicago that was paying money was shut down.
Wow.
I had to still push myself. Mm-hmm. Even though no one was filming and paying. I still had to push myself. So I did projects that I wasn't getting paid for in order to keep moving. Yeah. I got to keep moving. I can't just sit back and like, well, strike ain't over. What am I going to do now? Because my mortgage people they don't give a flying flizzle about no strike. Yeah. They don't care if you are an actor. Yeah. If you work at Walmart, they want their money. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I had to go out there and I had to get it. And then the strip joints were shut down, so I couldn't get on the pole. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Yeah. It was crazy. So what I had to do was I had to go get into hustler mode. I had to make it happen, Captain, and plus still do what God put me on this earth to do.
Yeah. Because the thing that I've learned in this business is that, and I've been blessed to be in a scenario where my talent has created an outlet for me to grow, expand, and financially take care of me. And I see sometimes people are like, they're trying to figure out how to balance working a regular job with trying to get on, as they say in this business, and trying to make it. So, you know, the advice that you have for somebody that feels like, well, it's like I'm doing this, but it's not paying off. Right. What is your advice for somebody that is like at that verge of giving up? Because it seems like it's not working for them.
Well, you gotta work it until you get to where you want to go. Years ago, probably somewhere around like 2016. 2016, I was working for Federal Express. I was a courier, making pretty good money. My mother became sick with lung cancer.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where she needed somebody to be with her at all times. And so with me going to work, I couldn't be at home at the same time taking care of my mother. So I tried to get FMLA, and since I had a hernia surgery, I didn't have enough days to actually qualify for FMLA.
Yeah.
So I asked him. I said, "So what is that? Where's that put me?" He said, "Well, if you take off to take care of your mother, we'll fire you."
Wow.
Okay. So let's backtrack just a tad bit. That February, I put my letter of resignation in my backpack, and I took it to work every single day. I used to take off my days. I used to take off use my sick days and my off days in order to film. So I was still working, and I was still doing my craft. But when they told me that if you continue to take off, we're going to fire you.
Wow.
So my manager came to me after I told him, I said, I need to take off Monday. He said, Monday's a bad day. Mondays and Fridays a bad day to take off because you got people on vacation, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. He said, so what you got to do? You got to shoot Empire? Oh, what you got? What you shooting? Fire?
Being real
PD?
condescending, huh?
Right. And he's doing this in front of his boss. And I'm like, I was like, no, I need to take my mother to the doctor. She has a growth on her lung. We have to find out what's going on with it. And this dude said, so what time you doing that? I said, her appointment's noon. He says, okay. Well, what we'll do is we're going to put you on a late route. Can you make it here by 4? I was like, wow. I could just picture it in my head, taking my mother to the doctor, dropping her back off at home, patting her on her back and just saying, Mom, I'll be back. I'm getting ready to go to work. Don't worry about that cancer thing. I'll be right back. So at that point, I found out that my job, just like any other job, don't care about you at all. They don't give a damn. My manager told me before I got on the truck, he said, you need to make up your mind whether you want to be a courier or if you want to be an actor. Okay. And then that's when I got on the truck. And when I asked God on the truck, was that it? He said, yeah, that's it. You had to make sure that this is what you wanted to do because you're getting ready to throw away a job that pays you thousands of dollars. Your ends are meeting. I mean, I had a Corvette, I had a Cadillac, I had a motorcycle. I'm like, I'm rolling.
Yeah. But you really believed in yourself.
Had to. And so I asked him, I said, you got me? And he said, I got you.
Yeah.
Never worked another day at another job again since 2016, except for 2 jobs. I had to go back. I worked at a car dealership because I had to buy my wife an engagement ring.
Okay.
I didn't want that to come from the other funds.
Gotcha.
But other than that, you have to be focused on what you want to do. Don't say, Chris Greer told me to quit my job and go into acting. No, don't do what I did. Because during that time, I related it to something that Steve Harvey said. He said sometimes you got to jump. You're going to hit some branches on the way down. Mm-hmm. You might even hit the ground. You might hit the side of the mountain. But then again, you might fly.
So let me ask you this, man. Let me put you through some scenarios.
Okay.
So somebody wants to work with you, you know, nice, decent little movie, making good money, but their attitude is terrible. Talking to you like crap. Because you need to do what you need to do, and I feel like I could talk to you any kind of way because this is a opportunity of a lifetime. How do you deal with that?
Easy. If you already have been chosen to do this movie, play this part, and we get on set, and you treating me like crap. Mm-hmm. I would say, excuse me, can I talk to you right quick? Yeah. What's your problem, Chris? I don't like how you're talking to me. Mm-hmm. And I understand that we're trying to do a movie here. But as of a few seconds ago, I will no longer put up with your bullshit. I hope we got an understanding.
Just like that.
Pat him on the back and walk away. But it says in the Bible, touch not my anointed. Touch not my anointed. Don't come at me and expect to be blessed.
Yeah.
You come at me, you're going to lose because I got backup.
And this is the thing, man. Respect goes a long way in this business. I don't care what kind of position you hold. I don't care how talented you are. Respect goes a long way, all the way down to the person that, you know, who is the person that's sweeping up whatever messages was just made, you know, or, you know, certain PAs or whatever the case may be. Everybody has to be treated with respect.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've been in situations where I've been to people's sets or music video shoots, and I've been seeing some weird stuff going on. I'm just like, yeah, nah, this ain't cool. You know, so I say this for people that are in this business is that, you know, you don't have to put yourself through that particular nonsense, you know, because, you know, we and I think this was really big back in the whole like Diddy era. You know, I've seen it for myself where it was like, oh, well, you know, you trying to make it, you trying to be on this platform, you gonna have to go through it. It was almost like a form of an initiation to kind of basically, because you hear, I'm gonna talk to you any kind of way, treat you any kind of way, and you still about to take it because you're trying to make it, right?
Right.
So my question to you is for somebody that basically is trying to get in this business and they're dealt with adversity, somebody's talking crazy to them, what advice do you give them?
I would suggest that you tell this person to give you respect or find somebody else. I understand you got to pay your bills. I understand that this is something that's going to get you from point A to point B. I understand that people talk, and this is a small community. Under no circumstances will I ever be disrespected by anybody. I don't give a who you are. And that's that.
Big facts.
And that's that. Because they're a group of people that figure that they can walk around and treat people all kinds of ways. Because they are in, quote unquote, a position of power. Now, their power runs out. Because after treating, let's say you got 10 people on your set, and you treat those 10 people like garbage. Then you do another project, and you got 10 people that you treat like garbage. That's 20. Then you do another project, then you got 10 more people you treat like garbage. That's 30. Okay?
Yeah.
So soon what's going to happen is that you're going to run out of people, and everybody's going to be like, I don't want to mess with you.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess with you, and it's not really worth it. I got a saying that's called "Is the juice worth the squeeze?" Is it worth it? And that you could take that to working on a set. You could take it to your job. You could take it to your relationship. is what I'm going through worth it?
Facts.
If it's not, I'm up out of here, because you got one life, and you need to live your life to the utmost.
How do you deal with professional relationships? I'm pretty sure you've been in scenarios where people feel like, hey, I want to put you in this role, but it's a suspect role. Even though we talked and we touched on this, but it's a role where, it's kind of putting you in awkward situations where you're like, I'm married. I don't want to be in that. Because this is a truth that happens where sometimes somebody might say, hey, I'm just going to cast you as my husband, even though I know your situation, but they have ulterior motives. How does that work? How do you deal with that?
Whoa. Now, we've seen that happen so many different times. Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Pitt was with Jennifer Aniston. He did a movie with Angelina Jolie.
Yeah. But they're like, yo, it's acting. You got to put y'all in. And they'd be like, yo.
Right. If I think that you have an ulterior motive of wanting to get close to me because, number one, it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
I will pick up on it. And first of all, I'm a married man. My wife is an actress also. Every time that I do a role, or every time somebody asks me to do a role, I bring the script back to her, because there's a possibility I didn't even see it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so we might go over it together. Anything in there that's going to make me feel uncomfortable or make her uncomfortable, I'm not going to do it. Period. Because I don't care. I don't care if it's 20 mil. I mean, I don't care if I am put into a situation where I'm the love interest of Halle Berry and she's on top of me butt naked. I will run it past my wife. I'd run it past my wife before I make a decision.
Yeah.
So I would never be put in that position. Yeah. If she says, Chris, I don't want Halle Berry. I don't want Halle Berry on top of you butt naked.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, it's 20 mil.
Yeah, yeah.
And she said, I don't care. I'm going to say, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Now, she might say, you're going to be in a role where you're going to be with Halle Berry being butt naked? And she might say, can I watch?
Yeah.
I was like, so that's a yes. Give me that 20 mil.
Uh-huh.
But I never put myself in a position where I would actually have to sacrifice my morality or anything else. You know what? I'm glad that you brought that up. Like I said before, I've actually turned down roles because I think that it would be detrimental to my career, uh-huh, or it would be detrimental to my relationship.
Yeah.
I did a movie which never really came out. I don't know what happened to it.
Uh-huh.
I played a pedophile. A pedophile that was molesting his daughter. The strange thing about it is that it was some of my best work, which is crazy. You didn't see me molesting no girl. Uh-huh. But the thing is that I would look at my daughter a certain way.
Yeah. So
you would get the impression, uh-huh, that there's something freaky going on between him and her. But the storyline was that I was molesting my daughter. Uh-huh. And I'm kind of glad that it didn't come out. Because some people have a inability to separate reality from acting.
Yeah.
I do commercials. I did a commercial for County Care where I was County Care picked me up from home and took me to my doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
People coming up to me, you ain't got no car? You an actor? You ain't got no car?
Yeah.
I'm like, commercial.
Right. They can't separate the two.
Right. I had an ignorant man walked up to my wife after seeing a divorce court and said, "Are you the fiance or the side piece?"
Wow.
For real.
Disrespectful.
Totally disrespectful. Totally disrespectful. And so I get those jokes, you know. Did you get the jab, Chris? I had to get the jab to get to work.
Yeah.
I had to. So am I pushing it? Yeah. I have a commercial out now with for the Department of Health and Human Services where I'm telling people to get the jab again.
Yeah.
And I was just a voiceover, but, you know, hey.
So let me ask you this. So you mentioned, and then we're going to wrap it up because I want to get into some more rapid fire questions. But
Because I will talk for hours.
No, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it, brother, because like I said, we're getting information and we're creating something in the platform for people to, hey, I didn't know it was like that, or I relate to that. Let me ask you this. So you mentioned SAG. So, what is SAG?
SAG is the Screen Actors Guild. The Screen Actors Guild is a union that protects actors and voice actors from unscrupulous producers and other people, and it protects you.
And how did you get into SAG?
Well, SAG, you have to be asked to join.
Okay.
You roughly have to do 3 SAG films, and then you become a must join. And the next time that you do a SAG project, you have to be SAG. You have to pay the initiation fee. You have to pay the dues.
Yeah. As somebody starting that's watching this, do you think is it worth it for them? Because I know sometimes if you are let's say you're in some movies that you say you're forced to be SAG, and sometimes you got to pay, well, not sometimes, but you got to pay those dues. And they're like, man, but where am I gonna get this money from? Is it any alternative, or is it just, hey, this is just basically what comes with this business?
Well, I would say this: SAG is an investment.
Yes.
SAG is $1,900 to join, and it is $200 and some odd dollars. $200. It depends on how much work you do.
Yeah.
Where you have to pay your dues. SAG has its benefits, but it has its fallbacks. SAG will have you in a situation where you make $1,500 or $4,500.
Yeah. Right.
So SAG can get you $4,500.
Yeah.
I made $4,500 an hour. So.
Yeah. So it's pretty much a situation of you got to kind of weigh it out. Because I was having a conversation with an actress, and she was just kind of at this. She was at that moment of did some SAG projects. Finances wasn't the where she wanted it to be, but they were forcing her to be SAG.
Yeah.
And you know. Also, is there a situation where it kind of limits who you can work with as far as certain movies, directors, or is it just a situation of where you work something out with that individual?
SAG is SAG. If you work in a SAG project and they require you to be SAG, there's no way around it unless you are FICOR. FICOR allows you to work union and non-union gigs.
Gotcha.
Also, there's something called Taft-Hartley. Taft-Hartley is it depends on the amount of time between your last SAG film and your next SAG film, and so you qualify for Taft-Hartley.
Okay.
Now, some people think that it is a ripoff. That's your opinion.
Yeah.
I think that what it is that it is a stepping stone to greatness.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Yeah.
Some people figure that they can make I can tell you this. I made more money non-union than I did union. I tell you that. Because there's a situation that's going on in Chicago where we have Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Chicago Fire.
And Med.
Med. There we go. Chicago Med. All right. All those stories interlock. Okay. I've been on each one of them.
Yeah.
If I get picked to audition for one of those three, I will not get it. Why? I am in season 3. I am in season 5. I am in season 7. I'm not gonna pick. I've had 2-3 different wives. I was in PD. I had one wife. My daughter was in. It was the crossover event where they put all 3 of them together.
Yeah.
I was in that. My wife. I was married to another woman. My daughter was in a fire. Building blew up. She was all right. Next time I was in Chicago Med. I had another wife. I had another daughter.
Yeah.
Somebody shot a pistol up in the air, came down. She was driving down Dan Ryan and got hit in our spleen. She bled to death. She died.
And then you come back.
I come back as what? I get another wife. I get another daughter. I mean, these are adult daughters.
They're like, yo, that's why they said we're gonna just put them on divorce court. Right. We got all these wives.
Right. Put me on the divorce court. The carry on. We gonna compare. But the thing is that, so now here it is. It's a SAG role. Mm-hmm. I will probably not be picked for it. I will continue to audition for it.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do, but it both of them, it has its good, it has its bad.
Yeah.
But the main thing is, if you are interested in doing a blockbuster, you're interested in being part of the Marvel universe. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If you're doing a film with Denzel, Halle Berry, Wesley Snipes, you got to be SAG. Period.
That's just what it is.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. You want to make $20 million a movie? You got to be SAG.
So basically,
they're not going to give you to nobody that's not going to be non-union. It's not going to happen.
So it's just like you said, it's an investment because at the end of the day, like even like with me being an artist, I'm with ASCAP. Even though
me too.
So you already know, so at the end of the day, it's like these are little stepping stones that you got to do to be able to get to the greatness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So stepping stones.
Yep. And like I said, so for somebody that's like watching this and they're just like, man, hopefully, you're learning a lot to be able, because like the beautiful thing is I'm kind of like that person that gets to be the vessel to come in and say, hey, I'm learning too. Now you get to learn with me, because I got the music industry to a certain extent down packed. Uh-huh. So learning and transitioning and coming into this world is just like, man, this is super dope. Because, rappers and musicians and actors, mm-hmm. It's kind of like similar to the rappers and the sports players. It's like they all kind of coincide with each other.
Right.
So, it was an easy situation to come across super dope, talented actors, people like yourself to say, hey, let me include you into this music video, doing stuff like that. Because I used to always be a fan of how Michael Jackson would do it, where he would do movie-esque music videos where they, he had Eddie Murphy, big names in his stuff. So, it's one of them things that I want people to be prepared to understand what they're getting into, and like I said, that's the reason for this platform, ChicallyWOOD, mm-hmm. Because I want to take the ideology of Hollywood and bring it here, because we need our industry. And I get it. We got center space and we got a few things that basically give us that look. Appreciated what was happening with Empire. I appreciated what was happening with even what's happening with Power. Certain things shot here, things like that we can kind of be like, yo, that was a piece of our landmark.
Yeah.
But I believe now we should be at a situation to where people are coming here flocking to be able to set up shop and it's creating even more jobs, more opportunities. But it starts with us getting that knowledge.
Exactly.
We have to get that knowledge first, because the one thing is you pay for what you don't know. That's what I've always learned. So if you don't understand something, you're gonna pay a big fee, a fine, and then you're gonna have to come back and do it again. But if we can take this and expedite that process and everybody can get that information, I believe it's valuable.
Yeah,
it'd
be dope.
So what you got new coming out, man? What you got going on? Because I know outside of what we got worked on, Facing Your Demons, it's going to be a super dope project. You guys got to see it. But what you got going on?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm going to be shooting a movie today.
Really?
In a few hours. It's called The Sweet Spot with Dorian Johnson.
Shout out to Dorian Johnson.
Shout out to Dorian Johnson. I have a radio spot and a TV spot that's out right now with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services regarding getting the RSV, flu, and COVID shots.
Mm-hmm.
I am currently writing my next screenplay. I don't know if it's going to be a short, if it's going to be a feature. It depends on what that animal turns into.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they develop their own lives.
Nice.
I will be returning to Governor's State and on the 21st, finishing up my degree for my graduation in May.
Nice.
I also have Real Actors Guru, which I'm working on the. I put together the criteria, not the criteria. It starts with a C. Curriculum. That's it. I put together the curriculum. Probably after I graduate, I'm going to be giving acting lessons, where you'll be able to learn the Stanislavski method, the Meisner method, all of the things that I learned during these 3-4 years in college. I'll be able to pass these things on to up and coming actors. Also showing them how to start, where they need to go for headshots, for training, for getting an agent. I will be showing them all of that, and plus little tidbits about of the pitfalls that you can walk around and avoid.
Nice. Well, man, I definitely got to have you back on here, man. Got to have you back on ChicallyWOOD, man. Right. Where can people reach you?
They can reach me.
What's your IGs and all that stuff?
My IGs and stuff. Reach me at Christopher A. Greer on Facebook. The Real Chris Greer on what's that other one? Graham.
Instagram.
Instagram on the gram. I'm on X. I don't know why.
Christopher A. Greer across the board?
Christopher A. Greer across the board. I think that's it. I deleted the Tinder since I got married.
I wish, man, you try to reach me on Tinder. Like,
yeah, reach out to a brother on Tinder. Give me the thumbs up.
Or Black Planet.
Flip me. Black Planet. Yeah. Also, what was the other one? The other
MySpace.
MySpace. My MySpace is up and running.
He taking it back.
I gotta find my password so I can answer you. But other than that, I think that is it.
Well,
also, if you are interested, me and my wife have a film company. We do production and all kinds of other things. We have a new show that's coming out. We had Lights, Camera, Action, which is available on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. I forgot about that. Have a YouTube channel under Christopher A. Greer. You can look at our previous shows from Lights, Camera, Action. We're rehashing our whole show, and you'll be able to see that. Also, you can reach me at www.greermusicfilm.com if you're interested in the acting lessons, or if you're interested in what we're doing next, because we have a boatload of stuff that's coming.
Beautiful. That's what's up, man. Like I said, I'm glad to bring you on this platform, Acting ChicallyWOOD, because I want to create these expedited lessons and just go deep dive into things, because I always wish I had information instead of having to find it here and piece it together from there. And it's just, this also documents my journey of coming across so many amazing people. This documents exactly how I perceive certain things in a way of like greatness. So that's why I wanted to create Acting ChicallyWOOD. So the fact of the matter is, we still dream big, and we still have that opportunity to basically show the world what we're capable of.
Definitely.
So with that being said, make sure you guys check me out, www.youngblazesite.com. Of course, across the board, YoungBlaze IG. Make sure you leave some comments, all that cool stuff. So with that being said, I'm Young Blaze.
I'm Christopher A. Greer.
And this is Acting ChicallyWOOD. I appreciate you guys checking us out.
Peace.
Peace.